Welcome to this new landing challenge. In this landing challenge we're gonna do the second new landing challenge in the famous category, which is this one for Hachijojima. I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly. So the airport is 187 miles south of Tokyo. Now we're gonna use the Airbus A320 Neo. And the challenge will be to land on this runway. Here's the blue mark. So the blue mark, the closer to the blue mark, the better it is, and also the more you send it to the runway, the better it is. Runway over 6,000 feet. We're gonna land on runway 8. So let's see if we can make a successful landing. So the idea is that we're flying 170 knots, then we're making a left turn to one, and then reduce speed to 160, then finally to 150, then fly past this nice island right on our left side here, and then make a landing on this runway, which is in the middle of two mountains, which is kind of cool. See a lot of lights, small airport to be honest. And here's our airplane. For Airbus 320. So let's go inside the airplane. You can see that the gears are already down, which is good. So let's look at the left side. So currently we're at a speed of 160 knots. So we can reduce speed a bit. Try to make the left turn. And get centered in front of the runway where we need to make our landing on in this landing challenge. Let's see, we should have waited a little bit longer. Let's also increase throttling a bit, not too much. Here it already complains about overspeed. Let's drop flaps to 100% full. So fully extend them. This will also make sure that we're reducing speed. And also let's decrease throttling a lot. Let's see how successful this landing will be. If you've seen my video of the Cessna 172 on the other Japan landing challenge, you saw pretty that the first try was pretty well. I expected this one now we need to try it a few more times before making, I would say, a reasonable score. So I'm gonna put the nose a little bit down. So what you will see with the Airbus 320 is that auto throttling is enabled. So it will automatically throttle if it things it needs to do. So we will leave it on to see how it works, or if it works correctly. In a later tutorial we will discuss when you can use the auto throttle functionality and what it actually does. As you might guess, as the name already says, it handles the throttling for the airplane. So we need to steer a little bit more to the left side. So probably our approach is not 100% the way we wanted it. Now we've got some wind from here. So this challenge, as you can see, this I would say this try will not be that successful.
100, 650, 40,
Whoa.
30, 20,
Too hard. Yeah, you see, this one was simply too hard. You saw the poppy lights flipping on and off. So it's also good to know, right? If you didn't see my video about the poppy lights, you might have a look at them, because they will really help you to make I would say a successful landing. So let's give it another try, because this one was not the best we had. Challenge completed. Well, we're still pretty high in the rankings. Don't think a lot of people, or pretty low in the rankings I should say. but it looks like not a lot of people have played this one. So you can see that the smoothness and the precision and the ground roll was, I would say, ground roll was simply garbage. Landing precision was kind of okay, it could be higher. Landing smoothness, we need to work on that. So we're gonna press restart and we're gonna try it again. Let's see if we can make a successful or a more successful landing this time. So ready to fly. So let's wait with making the turn, because I think that was the first error we made during our initial, let's say, turn. Don't go too slow. So we're keeping an eye on the speed, which you can see on the left side, right? On the left side in the compass view, you can see on the left side, as with most airplanes, you can see the speed, and on the right side you can see the altitude. If you look very good, you can already see the poppy lights, and they're all white, which means that we're too high. Gonna make the other turn. Reduce speed. Drop flaps. Now try to stay in the center of the runway. Another option is, of course, to use the ILS approach if you want, but I think that's not the idea behind the challenge. But you can do it after you try the challenge and you want to fly to this airport. Just try to see, okay, hey, does it work better when we will do a ILS?
1000.
So poppy lights are still all white, which means that we're too high, as you can see. So let's see if we can let two of the lights turn to red, which is the idle glide path. So that's one. So we're coming pretty close. So this is the idle glide path, right? If we would do this.
200.
Oh, now we're too low.
160, 50, 40, 30, 20, retire.
Ugh. Also again a rough landing. So I need to land on the. I need to perform touchdown a little bit more to the left. So we were too far to the right, just like the first time. So let's see if we increased in the rankings. I think we did. Well, you can see the landing precision was pretty well. We made a small jump, but we're still far too low. Let's try another. And last try to see if we can make a smoother landing and also make sure that we're in the center of the runway. Last try. If it doesn't work this time, I probably need to practice a little bit more with this A320, which I didn't fly a lot with, to be honest. It's on my list to do. Probably for a lot of you. Mostly I fly the Cessna airplane. I would say it's pretty easy to fly with compared to the A320. Wouldn't say that it's really easy, because you still need to know the basics. So what have we learned from the first two? The first thing is that you shouldn't make the turn to the left too fast. The second thing is that you shouldn't go too much to the right, because then you're ending up too much to the right on the runway. The other thing which we learned is that we can use the poppy lights to make sure that we're on the correct glide path and making sure that we're landing on the correct spot. So I'm gonna make a slow turn. Slow turn to the left. I'm not sure when the poppy lights will be activated. But something is also, I need to do some digging on some resources on the internet for that.
2,500.
So we're at 2,500. So we're gonna drop the flaps to full. Don't make the same error and go too much to the right this time. You can see the poppy lights are already working, right? So it says now we're a little bit too high, so this is the correct glide path. This should be the idle glide path, because two of the lights are burning. Now we're too low, so we need to increase throttling a bit, because that's where you will land too far. Yeah, so now we're good again. You can see the lights are adapting what we do, so we're doing it correctly. Now we're far too high again. So
400, 300, 200, 100, 60, 40, 30.
Again, too high, right? Far too high this time. And also not the smoothest landing. So this was really bad. I think we should even consider to remove it from the recording, but of course I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. So this is not a nice one to end with. So I want to give it another try, because this one was really bad. You see, this was 178 points. Not good. Not a good ending. So press next and then hit restart. Last try. I promise I will make it a little bit better as the last one, because the last one was simply not good. Fly now. And what you will see is when you practice more and more, it will become easier, right? Sometimes you've got what I just had, I would say a failure, which happens sometimes, and it requires a lot of practicing to make a smooth landing, especially with these kind of airplanes, right? Because they're a lot bigger compared to the Cessna, so you need to be really careful with making changes. Because a small change can have a big effect, as you just saw. Drop the flaps. throttle. As you can see, currently the poppy lights are not burning, or they're burning white, so we're far too high. So let's first fix that piece. So we're too far to the left currently.
1,000.
So this is correct. So if we stay at this glide slope, it will be perfect. Now we're too low, right? So we need to pull back the stick a bit. Far too high again. So you can see that you need to make really small changes and then make sure that you're, say, following a glide path.
200. 100.
Now I landed too far and now we crashed. Well, as you saw, it was not the best landing, but here I'm gonna stop because I need to practice more. Maybe I will post a new video later on to show you that you can do it actually more successful. I hope you liked it, especially maybe you liked the crashing and maybe saw me playing around and making stupid failures, I would say. If that's the case, then press the like button. If you got any suggestions how we can improve it, then use the comment box below the video. If you'd like to see more of these videos or more of the how-tos, then consider to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.